All right, guys. My name's Nick, and we got Kendrick here, a good buddy of mine. And we're going to tell you about pretty much the story of Nicks Picks. Um, Originally, it was my brother, Rick. It was his idea on starting this. He was like, "Hey, man, you should really start a TikTok and post your plays and bets and all that good stuff." And I was like, "Nah, that's a stupid idea." And then about 3 months later, he brought up the idea again. And I was like, all right, we'll go ahead and give it a try. So I started posting my plays on TikTok. Um, and I started gaining followers. And you got to have 1,000 followers to go live on TikTok. We got to 1,000 followers roughly just over a month. So I was able to start going live. Um, and then that's when we brought in Kendrick. I think Kendrick came around in about what, December?
Yeah, it was about December while I was on the work trip. It was about 8 hours ahead, so it was a little bit different for me trying to sync up with sports in the States and being out in the States. It was very hard in the beginning.
Yeah, shout out to Kendrick though, man. Kendrick's done a lot of big things for us and for the technology. Um, he's our hockey guy. He's more of the player prop guy, I would say. We all bet pretty different in the chalkboard. Um, but yeah, we made the group Nicks Picks, and it's on TikTok and chalkboard right now. And Rick jumped in right around the same time Kendrick did on the chalkboard. So it was three of us as the admins in the chalkboard, and I remember when there was 30 people in there. Don't you?
Yeah, it was felt like you were talking to your family. It was like a family group chat at that point.
Yeah, everybody pretty much knew everybody because it's the same people all the time. And then um, Mr. Brandon Bowman, the fourth admin of the Nicks Picks group, actually contacted him, and I told him, I was like, "Hey, we got a lot of college basketball, and I'm really the only one covering it." And because sometimes on those Saturdays you got 200 college basketball games, and that's just a lot. There's college basketball every single day. He's good at college basketball; it's his best too. So I just told him, "Come on," and he's the fourth member that hopped on, and the chalkboard just shot up from there. Um, I did a bunch of TikTok lives, college basketball. We gained a lot of people. Um, we're currently at 2,057 members. Or August 2nd, I should say. Um, but honestly, reflecting on it, I can't believe it is where it is now. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, starting out at 30, that was a memory. And then it just felt like a snap of a finger and it was already at 500. And then, we did that giveaway at 1,000. I was like, wow, we hit 1,000 already. And then now over 2,000 members. I mean, it's insane, and it's not like any other chalkboard community that I've seen. We have so many people in there. The community is so engaged, and there's there's I guess you would call them like the regulars that are in there constantly sharing their picks, and they do gain some of those guys have some reputation for themselves, and they love the community as well.
Yeah, do you want to tell them exactly what the chalkboard is for anybody that has no idea?
Yeah, so the chalkboard is a free app you can download on Android, iPhone, all platform or all electronics that you have. It's a free community. We have each of our admin channels. We have a discussion channel for just general. We have a baseball channel. We have a soccer channel, even. There's multiple different channels in there that you can just communicate. And if you have questions, you can just pop a question in there. And there's lots of people in there just to chit chat with, working a full-time job and, this on the side as well. It's difficult to, reply to everybody in there, but there's so many people in there with great knowledge that are just ready to answer.
Yeah, I've actually seen several comments over the last couple of weeks talking about that community. Um, is better than most paid subscription services for sports gambling. They said they find better information in that community, in a free community, than when they paid. And I think that means a lot. I mean, we put a lot of time and effort into it. And you think about, and we're doing it for free and not asking for a dime, uh and we're hanging up there with the guys that charge for the picks and stuff. I think that says a lot.
Right. It's there's a lot of transparency, and it's like, hey, this is why we feel this way. That's what everybody's got to get into your live on TikTok, because that's when you're able to explain your picks. You're able to give more of an insight. That's your moment for people to ask the questions then, like, hey, why do you feel this way? you know and sometimes you're like, hey, give me 10 followers, I'll drop the card. Hey, it just gives them a little bit of incentive, and it happens and the card drops. But most of the time you post your plays live in the chalkboard before you even go live on TikTok. So if you want early access, you're in the chalkboard, you get that turn that notification on, get that notification, boom, you got Nicks Picks right there.
Yeah, the TikTok is it's a good place for me to really explain, or if anybody has any questions, I can answer. It's a lot easier to answer, verbally than typing and texting back to everybody throughout the day. Because I can just speak a lot faster with my mouth than I can type with my fingers. Yeah, but the chalkboard, you got to get in there. It's free. It's unbelievable. It was created in 2021. Not a lot of people know about it. And I got a call from the head of growth from Chalkboard. His name's Andrew. And he said our community's pretty much at the top of the board in growth rate, as far as adding people on the daily. And he knows how interactive our community is. And like Kendrick said, he's been in a lot of other chalkboards, and I can say the same. I've been in other chalkboards and they just die out. Like,
Yeah.
the group just dies and nobody comments in it. But that leads us to the TikTok. I really don't post much on there. I just do the lives. But we will get our usernames for me, Kendrick, Rick, and Brandon down below for the TikTok. We'll get it put on there for y'all. And I'm gonna let Kendrick take us away on the shirt designs.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if many of you guys were able to get a chance or had the opportunity to get the original Nicks Pick shirt. I got one in the white and one in the black. It is just a regular like cotton Hanes shirt, and it's got the same logo that's in the back here, the Nicks Picks logo on the front, and on the back it says Nicks Picks and Sports Betting Community. Right now, I'm working on getting some new designs out there. I think the shirt that is going to be the most comfortable and not be a heavy shirt is the Gildan unisex. It's like a soft style t-shirt. It is lower price, so hopefully we can get at a better price, because we want you to represent Nicks Picks, it's a fire shirt. We're trying to do a Bell Brothers exclusive for NASCAR, because them boys are on fire in NASCAR every Sunday. And so, yeah, I'm just working on a few designs. I have 2 or 3 right now. Once we come to a conclusion and I'll agree to a shirt designs, I'll get some made in production so we can test them out, because I want the best quality for you guys as well. Once we get the quality check, everybody's going to get a shirt from the admins. And then I would love to do a giveaway, for some subscribers in the YouTube. Maybe we hit 100, or maybe not even 100, maybe 50. But I think shooting for 50 is pretty low. I think we hit 100. I'll give away 5 shirts. I think that's feasible.
Yeah, I agree. And I think maybe potentially we could do like a refer a friend. And if you refer someone that's not in the chalkboard and gets in the chalkboard and subscribes somehow, some way, I feel like maybe give them like a entry into a drawing for a free shirt, just to get people to spread the word. But yeah, the first guy I had make my shirts, we've sold probably close to 100, and he just ghosted me. Ghosted me. I couldn't get a hold of him. And he wouldn't even take my payment, man. So don't know, but I think it might be a little better if we got Kendrick doing it as far as processing, like saving some money. I think it'll be a little bit easier that way, and I think the athletic material is definitely a little bit more attractive than cotton.
Yeah.
But the first shirts that were sold were just that was just getting our feet wet and seeing how it was going to go. It went better than expected, and we're only going to go up from here. I mean, gambling's only legal in 25 states. What's it going to be like when it's legal in all 50 states? So
Right.
just going to increase, increase, increase. Um, but yeah, we're working on some designs. We're going to get those out. Um,
Yeah, I might pop one up on the screen here. When I edit the video, might pop one up on the screen. Little tease
so
for everybody.
I like it. So we're going to ride with YouTube, correct, for the podcast.
Yeah, so we can put this on YouTube, and we can expand out the platform as well to Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We can just upload the audio to Spotify and Apple Podcast. And now sometimes they allow videos, but yeah. And I know
Well,
that
let's.
for YouTube, if we hit 500 subscribers, then you can start sponsorships and partnerships. So once we hit that 500 subscriber mark, 500 subscriber mark, then definitely give us some more incentives for more subscribers as well.
Yeah, man, I've been wanting to do this for a long time. Been craving it and been hungry for it, man. Because I just think you get a common podcast, and if you are consistent with it, people are going to want to tune in and listen. And I think we can definitely talk about some hot topics in the sports world and the sports gambling world that will be very attractive to some ears. Um, but and then also we're going to have Rick and potentially Brandon getting on every once in a while. But for the majority of the episodes, it's going to be me and Kendrick. Um, it's just hard to get all four of us together. Um, but me and Kendrick are going to roll with doing it most of the time one on one, and Ricky will be in um, sporadically. And I think we could really have some great debates on some stuff in the sports world. But let's go to the next subject at hand. Kendrick, tell us about some of your visions and goals on this journey in sports gambling. And first off, guys, I want to say one more thing. Nicks Picks, it's not an ego thing. It's just something that was already out there, and it's catchy, and we just left it at Nicks Picks. I know a lot of people's like, why are you making it about yourself? That's not the case. And Kendrick can tell you that. It's already, we're already out there in the market. Nicks Picks. If you change it to something else, it might be complicated on or create a little confusion.
Right. Yeah. No, it's just already there, already established. Keep rolling with it. Um, everybody has their name in the chat. Like Nick's picks, Rick's picks, Kendrick's picks, and Brandon's picks. Like we just went with that theme as well. We had the Nick's picks overall. I would say vision and goal for the podcast. I would like to say in the next three months, instead of it being like a sporadic thing, maybe it can be a 2 to 3 times. We'll set a small goal, like 2 to 3 times a week at least, to get in here. And try to answer the community's questions. Maybe they have some hot topics they want us to talk about. Get in here, have fun. It's all about having fun. Like we do this for fun. I'm not out here trying to chase a bag. This is fun. This is really fun to me. And same thing about people that make it paid. I feel like they're just chasing the bag, and they have to be consistent. Here, it's free picks, so we tried our best to be consistent. But it's sports betting. You're gonna hit a cold spell every once in a while. It's not easy for sure with the amount of time that has to be put into these, on top of a normal job. So definitely for the podcast, would like to see 500 subscribers in the next 6 months. That would be a realistic goal, I do believe, for the podcast channel, whichever way you look at it. And for the chalkboard, I would love to see 2,500 members by the end of the year. That would be awesome. It's we do have football coming back soon. That's going to be great. College basketball, hockey's restarting again too at the same time. So all our sports are back. We're kind of in that I don't want to say slump, but we're like in the bottom of the valley right now with only baseball and a little bit of golf. And MMA, that's another subject, but it's one of the sports that isn't really touched as much in the chalkboard. There are members in the community that do share their picks, but for me, hockey's my hot sport. Um, we'll see about football. There's a lot of football going to be going on. We've got four of us in there. It's something where we'll be talking for sure, making sure we're all, we don't have to agree on everything, but we do need to have that communication aspect, and football is going to be fun. Oh, I can't wait.
All right. So my vision and goals, man, I really let's go with the numbers first. He's talking about the subscribers being at 500 in the next 6 months. I want to shoot a little higher. Let's go 1,000. And I think we can definitely do it. It's just word of mouth. You gotta get people to help spread the word. You gotta think about it. We already got what 2,057 members in the chalkboard. I think we can get close to 500 to subscribe from the chalkboard. Chalkboard's got 2,057. You said you wanted it 2,500 by January 1st.
Yeah, I think that's a realistic goal.
I think we can get more than that with football and college basketball, college football coming up. I think we can probably get it to 3,000. Because some gamblers just only do fall.
Right.
And then you get, they really a lot of the commercials and stuff, they emphasize during football season, and they get all these new people. And then as the states begin to legalize more and more and more, you're only going to get more people in here. And there's also some big news coming from the chalkboard that I cannot release just quite yet, but I think that's going to help our chances on increasing our publicity. But at the end of the day, I think the long-term goal is where we build a market on where me, you, Brandon, and Rick only do this for a living. The podcast, the betting, the chalkboard, the community, and kind of get sponsorships and endorsements and stuff like that. I think that would be your long-term goal if you had to choose, right?
I definitely agree.
Whether it be 5 years, 10 years, it doesn't matter. All that really matters is accomplishing the goal. And I think we can definitely do it between Kendrick, his intelligence and technology. There's no way possible I'd be able to do the podcast without Kendrick. And he set up a lot of like the shirt designs and the logos and a lot of the models, the college basketball that were hitting at it. It's like a 75 to 80% clip at one point. But it's a team effort, and everybody's got to be in. And I think Rick, I think he's a big asset. As far as his subject in betting, he does more of the professional sports. I'm more of the college guy. Brandon, he's college and everything, and then you got Kendrick doing hockey. We cover NASCAR, we cover golf, so we got a lot of areas covered, and I think that's only going to help our case. And then it also helps out. We get some good members in the chalkboard like Slock and John Downey, Rick and Jay, and I'm sure I left out a few, but they're great assets to the chalkboard, and they're helping us grow. They're a big piece of the success for us. But at the end of the day, I think we're going to be doing some big things. And I honestly never thought we would have got to this point. And now that we're here at this point, we might as well go for it. What do you say?
Yeah, you know what? You may not know the old famous Dr. Disrespects line, but he's like, I'm at the top, the tippity top, and I'm only halfway there. And I'm just flabbergasted at the amount of growth, and just watching it, like it's just mind blowing to see the growth in there. And as football picks up, I hope we see that climb as we're growing together, having fun. making a little money. That's always in there. We don't want to lose.
What is the one big thing you need to be in the chalkboard? What is the golden rule? And it's not money. You don't need money to be in the chalkboard. Tell them what it is to stay in the chalkboard.
Nothing but positive vibes all day. Positive vibes.
Yeah, you got to be positive. If you negative, you're probably not going to last long in the community.
Gone out of here.
You're out of here. Yeah. We preach positive vibes, trust the process. We got people that post their picks in there. And if they have a bad night and someone gets onto them, we got their back. And I mean, heck, this happened to me. I've had a bad night and somebody come in there and just being a, butthole, and they have my back. That's one thing about that community. For the most part, everybody's got everybody's backs and positive vibes. But I've probably had to ban quite a few people since the beginning. Just ain't got time for, a negative Nancy in life. Just think, life is short, and why do you want? I mean, honestly, why do you want a negative person in your life? Why? Why do you need it?
All right. With that being said, we're going to switch over here to some sports terminology, and we're going to start out with the unit size. Give us a little explanation on that.
All right. So bankroll management is key. You got to be disciplined. You got to be consistent. You got to trust the process. And a unit. This is probably a top 5 question on what I get asked. What is a unit? What is your unit size? So for example, if you're betting a unit, you need to bet 1%. 1%, you could probably go to 1 to 2% of your bankroll. But if you really want to be real disciplined, 1%. So for example, if you have $1,000 in your bankroll, in whatever account it is, then you need to be betting 1%, which would be $10 with $1,000 payroll. So, for example, a 1-unit play would be a $10 play. A 2-unit play would be a $20 play. A 3-unit play would be $30. And typically, we don't do any more than 5. So I do not. And 5 would be $50. That's if you have $1,000 bankroll. So a 5-unit play would be 5%. A lot of people mistake when you say a 5-unit max play to throw half of their bankroll on it. So there you're going from betting 5% on what you're supposed to bet to betting 50%, which is a tremendous difference. And that's where a lot of people make the mistake of being irresponsible and just blowing their load in one night. And it's pretty much a wrap. A lot of sports bettors quit. And if you would just follow the 1 to 5%, the 1 to 5 unit, there's no possible way to lose all your money. There's no possible way. But bankroll management is it's a big thing I teach. And I don't think you'll find that from many other cappers and stuff. They really don't say much. They try to get you money and then post the plays. And a lot of people don't even tell them what units to play with each play, which is sketchy to me. But yeah, I mean, that's my advice on unit size and bankroll management and how to be smart. Kendrick, do you want to tell them about parlaying?
Like, yeah, that's
how many legs at most should you put together?
You should not do anything more than 2 legs, honestly. Just because you see, you might see a $5 win you 30,000. That's an incredibly low on lottery ticket. You should stay out of lotteries. I think that those are how people get upset. That's where those negative vibes come in. You should try to keep it around the even money when you do those 2-leg parlays. Like that's for me, betting on player props. It is a parlay. So when you do a 2-leg, you're basically doing a 2-leg, and when you look at them, they might both be like minus 150, and it only ends up being like a minus 110 overall or a plus 110. So it's keeping it close to that even money. But we don't want to have, you don't want it to be like 2 long shots. You want it to be, lower. Oh, not lower odds, my bad. You want it to be in the minus, and you want to keep it close to that even money line to have the best odds. The problem is,
Yeah,
people want to chase that high dollar, and they're not good with bankroll management. I don't think you shouldn't do everything as a parlay like you are. You do mostly your straight bets, rolling into another terminology.
yeah, I will do two legs, but I get it even money to double your money, which I don't think is a bad idea because you're putting two minus 200s together. Teams are typically minus 200 for a reason. I know in baseball, it's crazy. The minus 200s probably don't win as much as they do in other sports. Um, but I mean, just look, you go out here and get a lottery ticket. How many times you gonna win? I mean, that's what parlaying is.
Right, really low, really
I
low.
mean, and that's how the sports books make their money. And uh, it's just amazing, man. These sports books are not your friends. They set you up to get trapped. Kendrick, the boost and stuff.
Absolutely,
I
man.
mean, guys, if they have a boost posted, automatically staying away. I personally do because they're not going to give you that good of odds and make it seem like it's that good. I mean, like Jordan Spieth, for the example, is plus 100 to make the cut this year, and they boosted it to plus 300. Rick took it, and it didn't hit. And I told Rick, I said, when he liked it, I said, it's not going to hit that boost. They do hit every once in a while, but more times than not, they don't. They're not trying to be your friends. And then, you ever seen those suggested parlays? Like,
Yeah,
yeah, I never take any of those. Um, but yeah, straight betting's the way to go. I mean, just think about it. 5 bets a night. You hit 3 out of the 5. It's a winning night. Over time, you're going to have nights you go 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5. But you're going to have nights you're going to go 2 out of 5, 1 out of 5. But the winning nights are going to outweigh the losing nights if you follow the straight bet method. Because it's just impossible. Like, it really is. It's impossible if you're following the unit size to just go negative. And I think most people, when they start out with the parlaying because they think it's a get rich scheme, which is not the case.
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. You got to trust the process. There's going to be losing nights. The losing nights do suck. But here's what I tried to tell them. You always got tomorrow. Sports betting is 365 days a year. You always got tomorrow. And there's no reason to chase. A lot of times, if I start a day 0-2, I won't even try the rest of the day. I'll just say, all right, we'll get back to it tomorrow. Um, I don't know what your opinion is on that. Uh,
Yeah, it does suck. Don't post it out here because we want to lose. If it ends up that way, it does get you down. But like you said, that community is full of positive vibes. They're reminding it, hey, you got tomorrow. It's a new day tomorrow. That sun's gonna come up. That sun's gonna come up. We're gonna eat together.
yeah, one big thing I see in people sports betting is they'll have a big day. They'll go 5-0, and then there's a late night play. It's a little tuck me in. They'll bet everything they won that day on a play at the night. Lose everything you had. So, yeah, personally, if I start out 5-0, I'm calling it a day and moving to the next day.
Right.
I mean, taking that sweep. One thing I want to talk about real quick is sports betting should not be to pay the bills. You should not be betting or sports gambling to pay bills. You should not be sports gambling to depend on a life necessity. And I think you would agree with that.
Oh, absolutely. It will
I
drive you
mean,
insane if that's your goal.
yeah. This has got to be for fun. Sports gambling has got to be for fun. If you have a losing day, you honestly, I mean, yeah, you're probably gonna be disappointed, but it shouldn't like be to the point where it's affecting your life
Right.
in a negative way. A lot of people chase, goes in a downward spiral. They go bankrupt, and then they pull money out of their actual bank account, and then that really messes things up. That messes it up. It messes up marriages. relationships with your friends, and a relationship with your own personal self. But yeah, you got it. Sports gambling is for fun. So set aside money just like you would for any other hobby, whether it be going shooting guns or playing golf or going fishing or hunting or whatever. You set aside that money and make sure that's not money you need for a necessity.
Yeah, and if
But definitely,
if you have any issues and you want advice to if you have an addiction you need help, I will put that gambling hotline number and link down below in case you do need any help. um, let's hope that you're not in that phase where you're trying to use it as a living, because we do this for fun. I love this. I love getting in there. It honestly, I don't know about you, but there's certain games that I pay more attention to now that I bet on. Not everything, but it just gets you a little bit more engaged. I feel like for me, for baseball, sometimes, like even going to the Rays game live, like I put in a Nerfy the other day when I was there, and I was like, heck yeah, and just watching it live, and hopefully one day, we can get out and meet the community at the games or meet them somewhere, meet up with them, and you know maybe even shoot a podcast with them one day.
so how much time we got here?
2.5 minutes.
All right, 2.5 minutes. Real quick, let's talk about some basic abbreviations and explain that to anybody that might be new beginners. I know I got asked this. So explain to them, what is a Nerfy?
Nerfy, no run first inning. This is for both teams to not score a single run. It has to be both teams, the home team and the away team.
To not score a run in the first inning. They also have a Yerfy. That's a YRFI. And all you need is one of the teams to score a run in the first inning. TT is team total. That's a baseball or hockey term. And it can be in basketball and stuff. But right now we're in baseball. And another term I can think of that's commonly asked is a BTTS, both teams to score.
Right. We'll make it quick and simple. As always, share this community with everybody. You can find Nicks Picks Chalkboard. It's a free app. As always, I'll put a link in the description below. Love you guys. Positive vibes.
Yeah. So guys, go follow the TikTok Nicks Picks 7 and join the chalkboard. Chalkboard link is in the TikTok bio. If you have any trouble getting in, send me a message on TikTok. Give us that follow. We will put the usernames at the bottom. And again, just like he said, positive vibes and trust the process. I will see y'all some other time.